Okay, so let's start. Good morning, everyone. On behalf of the Bids and Awards Committee of DPWH Batangas First DEO, I would like to welcome our prospective viewers, the members of the Secretariat and the Technical Working Group, representative from the Implementing Unit or the end user representative, and the presenters from the Planning and Design section will be properly introduced later, and all other participants in today's privy conference. So this activity is being conducted pursuant to the provisions of RA 12009, otherwise known as the New Government Procurement Act, including its implementing rules and regulations. So before we start, let us first invoke the blessing of God through the medium of prayer to be led by Sister Eugene. Sister.
In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, amen. Loving Father, thank you for the opportunity to gather today as we can sister with confidence. Bless all members of all, the DPWH, Secretariat, and user units, the Sensor, and our respective leaders. Help us carry out this process with honesty, fairness, accountability, and respect for one another. May our discussions be clear, our decisions impartial, and our actions always aligned with the principles of transparent public service. Guide us throughout this meeting and keep everyone safe. We ask all this in your most holy name.
You now take your seats. Okay, the Secretary will now call the roll.
Good morning po sa ating lahat. For the roll call of attendees for today's private conference for 17 infrastructure project. Let's start from the planning and design section. Our presenter, Engineer Miguel M. Bituin, Engineer Adrian Aldwin Enriquez, Engineer Judy Beatriz M. Olaso, and Engineer Haydin Grace Sanchez. For our member of the DPWH, Engineer Renz Nino M. Del Mundo. For the member of the BAC Secretariat, Mr. Regine M. Umali. And the head of the BAC Secretariat, yours truly, Cyrus Walter Tordesillas. For our end user, Engineer Lori V. Deligero. For our BAC member, Engineer Judy Margaret B. Ricablanca.
Present, good morning po.
Another BAC member, Engineer Jobert M. Valdria.
Good morning, President.
For our BAC Vice Chairperson, Engineer Christine Joy Alonte.
Present, good morning.
And our BAC Chairperson, Engineer Andrew S. Martel.
Good morning.
Let's also acknowledge the presence of our prospective leader for this project. From My Dream Home Builders, Sir J.R. Francia. And also from My Dream Home Builders, Sir Ma'am Jenna De Los Reyes. And from Houseland Construction, Ms. Roxanne Umandal. That's all, sir, for today.
Thank you, Engineer Cyrus, the head of the BAC Secretariat. Okay, so the purpose of this private conference is to give our prospective leaders the opportunity to ask questions, seek clarification, and discuss matters relative to the procurement at hand. So any amendments or if we should discuss during this conference shall be reflected through the issuance of supplementary or big bulletin by the BAC. So may we also remind our prospective leaders that only issues raised in writing shall be officially addressed by the BAC. And those issues which will be discussed today shall be officially addressed by the BAC through appropriate issuance. So with that, let's start our private conference. Can we have the agenda first? So for today's agenda, we have the following. First will be the presentation of plans, project plans and scope of works. Next, the general information, and the rest is the question from our prospective leaders and observers. So let's start with the first project. By the way, with the presence of the majority of the BAC members, we hereby confirm the presence of a quorum and that the committee is authorized to proceed with today's pre-bid conference. So for our first project, we have 26 DB 0023. This for the Convergence and Special Support Program, Basic Infrastructure Program, BIP, multi-purpose buildings, facilities to support services, construction of multi-purpose building, covered court, Nasugbu National High School, Nasugbu, Batangas, with an approved budget for the contract of 4,950,000. Contract duration, 150 calendar days. Source of fund, JA 2026. Size range, small b, license category C and D, and cost of bidding documents is 5,000 pesos. By the way, this project is a republication due to first failure of bidding. So to present the plan, scope of work, we have here you may proceed. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Our first project for today entitled Convergence and Special Support Program, Basic Infrastructure Program, BIP, Multipurpose Building, Facilities to Support Services, Construction of Multipurpose Building, Covered Court, Nasugbu National High School, Nasugbu, Batangas. With a project type, Construction of Multipurpose Building, an approved budget for the contract of 4,950,000 and a project duration of 150 calendar days. Shown is the project location located at Barangay 3, Nasugbu, Batangas. The site development plan and the perspective. Here are the scope of work of the program. For our part A, we have facilities for the engineers, provision for field office of the engineer, provision of progress photograph. For our part B, we have permits and clearances, project billboards or signboard, occupational safety and health, and mobilization or demobilization. For our next part, we have clearing and grabbing, structure excavation, common soil, embankment from roadway or structure excavation, common soil, embankment from barrow, common soil, and gravel fill. For the next part, we have the structural concrete, 3,000 and 4,000 PSI. We also have reinforcing steel, deformed grade 40 and grade 60, and formworks and false works. For the next part, we have fabricated metal roofing accessories, flashings, gutter. We also have repainted metal, rib type long span, plain cement floor finish, painting works for concrete, steel, and steel. We have metal lat and accessories, structures, metal structure accessories, turnbuckle, cross bracing, and steel plates. We also have structural steel and purlin. For our part F, we have electrical, conduit boxes and fittings, wires and wiring devices, panel board with main and branch breakers, and lighting fixtures. For our plans naman po. As mentioned earlier, the perspective, the site development plan, and the location. The standard billboard or signboard and the summary of quantities. The floor plan and the elevation. We have the painted court lines and the roof plan. Next one is the foundation plan, the details of the grade beam and side strut, as well as the details of our column and footing. Next one are details of strut and the truss and the roof framing plan. Next one are the spot detail of our connections and also the details for our hanger and board and ring assembly. The last part po of the plan is the electrical layout and the riser diagram. That's all.
Thank you. Let's proceed with the next project. Contract ID 26 BB0024, Convergence and a Special Support Program, Basic Infrastructure Program, BIP, multi-purpose building facilities to support services, construction of multi-purpose building at Barangay Rillo, Batangas, with an approved budget for the contract of 4,950,000. Contract duration 150 calendar days, source of fund JA 2026. Price range small B license categories in D and cost of bidding documents 5,000 pesos. By the way, this project is also a republication. To present the plans for work, we have Engineer Adrian. Please proceed.
Good morning, everyone. For the next project entitled Convergence Special Support Program, Basic Infrastructure Program, Multipurpose Building, Facilities to Support Services, Construction of Multipurpose Building at Barangay Rillo, Batangas, with a type of construction of multipurpose building and approved budget of 4,950,000 pesos and 150 calendar days. Shown is the location map located at Barangay Rillo, Batangas, the site development plan, and also the perspective. Here are the list of scope works. And for our BOQ Part A, we have provision of field office for the engineer, provision of progress photographs. For Part B, we have permits and clearances, project billboard or signboard, occupational safety and health, mobilization or demobilization. For Part C, structure excavation, common soil, embankment from roadway structure excavation, common soil, gravel fill, structural concrete 3,000 and 4,000 PSI, reinforcing steel with deformed grade 40 and grade 60, formworks and faultworks. For Part E, we have sewer line works, storm drainage and downspout, plumbing fixtures. Next is the cold water line, the fiber cement board on metal frame ceiling, the carpentry and joinery works, finishing hardware, aluminum glass windows, sliding type, owning type, and fixed type. Next is the frames, flush door, doors, wood panel, fabricated metal roofing accessories, flashing, gutters, and rib type long span. The waterproofing cement base, glazed tiles and frames, unglazed tiles, cement plaster finish. Painting works for masonry, wood, and steel, 100 mm HV non-load bearing, and 150 mm. Metal structure accessories, steel plates, structural steel, and structural steel purlins. Last for Part F, the conduit boxes and fittings, wires and wiring devices, panel board with main branch breakers, and lighting. And for the plans, mentioned here is the perspective and the site development, also the location map, the project billboard, and the summary of quantities. The floor plan and the elevations, the spot details for ramp, the schedule of doors and windows, the detail for CR, the detail for stairs and elevation, and the reflected ceiling plan, construction notes, the framing plans, the detail of walls and wall footing, and the framing plan for roof, the lighting layout and power layout, the provision for aircon, the sanitary and water supply layout, and last is the septic tank details. That's all.
Okay, for our third project, 26DB0025. Convergence and Special Support Program, Basic Infrastructure Program, BIP, Multi-Purpose Buildings, Facilities, Support Services, Construction of Multi-Purpose Building, Over Court, Barangay, Bunducan, Nasugbu, Batangas. With an approved budget for the contract of 4,950,000. Contract duration 150 calendar days. Source of fund JA 2026. Size range small B license category C and D. And for the cost of bidding documents, 5,000 pesos. So again, this project is also a publication due to the failure of bidding. So we have engineer hiring to present the plans.
Again, for our next project, we have the Convergence and Special Support Program, Basic Infrastructure Program, BIP, Multipurpose Buildings, Facilities to Support Services, construction of multipurpose building covered court, Barangay Bunducan, Nasugbu, Batangas. With the project type, construction of multipurpose building, an approved budget for the contract of 4,950,000, and the project duration is 150 calendar days. The project is located at Barangay Bunducan, Nasugbu, Batangas. Our site development plan and the perspective. And the following are the scope of work. Basically po, ang difference lang po nito from the previous discussed covered court is that meron po siyang 150 mm THB for the entire perimeter po. Tapos may embankment din po and wala po siyang gutters and flat. And the rest of the scope po is same. That's all po. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Let's proceed. The next one, 26 DB 0026. Organizational outcome 1 ensures safe and reliable national road system, asset preservation program, preventive maintenance, secondary roads, Palico-Balayan-Batangas Road at kilometer 0123 plus 100 to kilometer 0123 plus 350. Kilometer 0123 plus 525 to kilometer 0124 plus 200. With an approved budget for the contract of 56,388,220 pesos. Contract duration 123 calendar days. Source of fund JA 2026. Size range medium A. License category B. Cost of bidding documents 50,000 pesos. These projects also a republication of the bidding. So to present the plans of work, we have Engineer Julie. You now proceed.
So for our next project po, organizational outcome 1, ensure safe and reliable national road system, asset preservation program, preventive maintenance secondary roads, Palico-Balayan-Batangas Road, kilometer 123 plus 100 to kilometer 123 plus 350, kilometer 123 plus 525 to kilometer 124 plus 200. With the project type, asphalt overlay, and an approved budget of the contract, 56,388,220 pesos. With a project duration of 123 calendar days. So here's our project location, the scope of work. And for our BOQ, we have the part A, provision of field office for the engineer, provision of furnitures or fixtures, equipment, and appliances for the field office for the engineer, provision of field office staff for the assistance of the engineer, and provision of progress photograph. For our part B, we have the project billboard and signboard, occupational safety and health program, traffic management and mobilization or demobilization. For our next part, we have removal of actual structure obstruction, 0.05 m thick ACP and 0.10 meter thick ACP. Surplus common excavation and subgrade preparation common material. For our part B, we have the Portland cement stabilized road mix base course, new soil aggregate. For our part E, we have the bituminous prime coat MC cutback asphalt grade 70, emulsified asphalt. Bituminous concrete surface, squaring course 50 mm and binder course 50 mm. For our part H, we have the reflectorized thermoplastic pavement markings lang. And for our plan, the index of drawings and symbols, our project location, our materials map as well as the disposal map, the general notes for asphalt overlay. Our standard project billboard, our roadway section as well as the detail, straight line diagram, our plan and profile. The details of the reflectorized thermoplastic pavement markings and our schedule of content. Here's the traffic management perspective. And for the last part, our cross section every 20 meters. That's all po.
Right, thank you, Engineer Julie. Why for the next project? And okay, so the following projects involve the same scope of work. So to avoid the repetition, we will first discuss the list of project, then after we will discuss the plans and scope of work, which is typical for all these projects. So these are the following projects: 26 DB 0074, Convergence and Special Support Program, construction, rehabilitation of water supply, septic and sewage, rainwater collectors, water supply system, construction of water system, sitio kay Lumon, Barangay Banilad, Nasugbu, Batangas. Next, 26 PB 0075, construction of water system, sitio Talisay, Barangay Banilad, Nasugbu, Batangas. Next is 26 DB 0077, construction of water supply, Barangay Kailaway, Nasugbu, Batangas. 26 DB 0079, construction of water supply system for Barangay Magahis, Tuy, Batangas. Next, 26 DB 0080, construction of water supply system, Barangay Malabad ng Bato, Nasugbu, Batangas. 26 DB 0081, construction of water supply system, Barangay Mataas na Pulo, Nasugbu, Batangas. 26 DB 0082, construction of water supply system, Barangay Maugat, Nasugbu, Batangas. 26 DB 0083, construction of water supply system, Barangay Payapa, Nasugbu, Batangas. 26 DB 0085, construction of water system, Barangay Taal, Batangas. 26 DB 0086, construction of water system, Sitio Ramos, Barangay Baybot, Tuy, Batangas. 26 DB 0087, construction of water system, Sitio Villanueva, Barangay Baybot, Tuy, Batangas. 26 DB 0088, construction of water system, Sitio Tebeda, Barangay Baybot, Tuy, Batangas. And 26 DB 0089, construction of water system at Barangay Mataywana, Tuy, Batangas. So all these projects has same approved budget for the contract of 4,950,000, contract duration of 150 calendar days. Source of fund JA 2026, size range small b. License categories and for the cost of reading documents 5,000 pesos each. So to present the plans for work, we have Engineer Miguel. You may proceed.
Morning po. For the plated projects ko earlier po, for the water system with a title of Convergence and Special Support Program, Basic Infrastructure Program, BIP, Public Water Supply System, Construction of Water System po, with an approved budget of 4,950,000 and a project duration of 150 calendar days. This is the plan po. Then the scope of work in the bills of quantities po. Part A is provision of field office for the engineer, provision of progress photographs. Part B, permits and clearances, project billboards or signboard, occupational safety and health, mobilization or demobilization. For Part C, clearing and grabbing, structural excavation, common soil, embankment from roadway or structure excavation, common soil, and gravel fill. For Part D, structural concrete, 3,000 PSI, reinforcing steel grade 40 and grade 60, formworks and fallworks. For Part E, soil poisoning, painting works for masonry or concrete, painting works for skill and structural skill. For part F po, solar panel with inverter, battery, and other devices. For part G, water pumping system. For part A, pipeline trench and excavation. And lastly, fill and vacuum po. So for our plans po, ito po. That indexes drawing po. The general notes. The location map and vicinity map po. The summary of quantities. The project billboard. The elevation and plan po for the water system and solar panel po. Then the details for pedestal and foundation plan and tie-beam po. Then next po ay details of trench and pipe connection po and details po ng deep well and distribution line. Then next po ay solar panel plan, solar panel site elevation and details of pedestal po and railings and tunnel layout. Next po ay details of field page. And lastly po ang Inca line diagram. Ayun lang. Yun po.
Okay, thank you, Miguel. Now we will proceed with the general information and other instruction to leaders to be discussed by our Vice Chairperson, Engineer Christine Joy Agonte.
So here are the general information for our prospective bidders. First is that bidding will be conducted through competitive bidding procedures using a non-discretionary pass or fail criterion. The bidding is restricted to Filipino citizens or sole proprietorships, cooperatives and partnerships, or organizations with at least 60% interest or outstanding capital stock belonging to citizens of the Philippines. Next, a set of bidding documents may be acquired by interested bidders until before 10 a.m. of August 12, 2026 from the Procurement Unit Office, DPWH Batangas First DEO, and upon payment of the applicable fee. Bidding documents may also be downloaded free of charge from the PhilJEPS and DPWH websites, provided that the bidder shall pay the applicable fee for the bidding documents before the submission of their bids. Next, bids must be duly received by the BAC Secretariat through manual submission to the Procurement Unit Office, DPWH Batangas First DEO, or through online or electronic submission through the email address electronicbids_batangas1@dpwh.gov.ph on or before August 12, 2026 at 10 a.m. Late bids shall not be accepted. All bids must be accompanied by a bid security in any of the acceptable forms in the amount stated in ITB Clause 16. Next, the bidder shall submit one original of the technical and financial component of its bid, written in indelible ink, and shall be signed by the bidder or its duly authorized representative. Note that all envelopes shall contain the name of the contract to be bid in capital letters, bear the name and address of the bidder in capital letters, be addressed the procuring entity's back, bear the specific contract identification of this bidding process, and bear a warning, do not open before the date and time of the opening of bids. Next, the bidder shall enclose their original eligibility or technical documents in one sealed envelope marked technical component and their financial component in another sealed envelope marked financial component, sealing them all in an outer envelope. The bid documents, technical and financial proposal must be book bounded or fastened at the left side with ear tag in A4 size of bond paper. font size 10 or up to 70 to 100% scale with documentary stamps and paginated as per DO number 90 series of 2002. Bid opening is on August 12, 2026 at 10 a.m. at the back conference room, DPWH Batangas First DEO. Bids will be opened in the presence of the bidders' representatives who choose to attend the activity. Contractors who wish to participate in the bidding are encouraged to enroll in the DPWH Civil Works Application or CWA at the DPWH Procurement Service, while those enrolled shall keep their records current and updated. If during post-qualification process, the BAC verifies any deficiency due to the contractor's fault or negligence pursuant to Section 63.2 of the IRR of RA 12009, the procuring entity will disqualify the contractor from award without any right for reimbursement of fees. Next, additional project requirements as mandatory submission of the following under ITB 12.1H, the latest general information sheet reflecting the beneficial ownership information duly received by the SEC for corporations, and ISO 9001:2015 certification or the latest applicable version. The relevant conditions or regulations are activated for projects that are valued at 30 million or more. The DPWH reserves the right to reject any and all of the bids, declare a failure of bidding, or not award the contract at any time prior to contract award in accordance with Section 70 of RA 12009, without thereby incurring any liability to the affected bidder or bidders. For contractors with an official representative, they are required to secure a special power of attorney for single proprietorship, while for corporation or incorporated, they are required to present a secretary certificate together with their latest board resolution. You may visit the following websites for downloading of bidding documents at www.dpwh.gov.ph and www.philjeps.gov.ph. For electronic submission of bid, use the email address electronicbids_batangas1@dpwh.gov.ph. For further information, please refer to Engineer Andrew Fernandez Marquez, BAC Chairperson, DPWH Batangas First DEO, telephone number 043-703-0004. BAC Secretariat, DPWH Batangas First DEO, contact number 043-703-00004. Once again, the deadline of submission of bids is on August 12, 2026, on or before 10 a.m. And the opening of bids is on the same date, August 12, 2026 at 10 a.m. Again, the address is BAC Conference Room, DPWH Batangas First District Engineering Office, Barangay Lanatan, Balayan, Batangas, with an office contact number 043-703-0004 and the office email address bac_batangas1@dpwh.gov.ph.
Thank you. You please enjoy along there, Vice Chairperson. Okay, we shall now open the floor for questions from our prospective bidders. Is there any question or clarification? If no, none.
Whenever po this month, paano po is the non-disclosure namin, ano po yung certificate. Pero po kami example sa amin, yun nga po nasa program ay 30 days, tapos po ang nakakano lang po is 20. Paano po yung adjustment namin to information. among them.
May variation or ganun.
Or ever po, kung may dagdag po, ano po,
Different, may variation.
where and another question po is, po, dito po sa financial difficulty, lupa lang, hindi po. Paano po kaya yung permission?
Dahil po yung ano yung illegal po.
Is there any other question? Wow. Okay, so there being no further question and no further matter to discuss, the pre-bid conference for this project is hereby adjourned at exactly 11:05 in the morning. Thank you, everyone.